Good morning Year 6 and welcome to another home learning lesson. We will begin today's lesson with a prayer. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. O my God, you love me. You're with me night and day. I want to love you always, in all I do and say. I will try to please you, Father. Bless me through this day. Amen. Today's learning objective is to use modal verbs or adverbs to indicate degrees of possibility. We're going to look at this sentence from the book The Hidden Forest. He is afraid some unknown creature will grab his legs as he scrambles back into the dinghy. I want you to have a go at replacing the word will with a different modal verb. See what it does to the sentence. Modal verbs can have many uses. In most cases, they work with another verb to describe the possibility of something happening or to describe what degree of certainty something is known. Here's an example. The netball team might win the tournament. This is showing the degree of possibility that they might win it. It's not certain, but they might. Here's another. Humpty Dumpty could fall off the wall. He could fall off the wall, but he also could not. Modal verbs can also express the obligation for someone to do something. For example, you must go and see the head teacher. Modal verbs can also express the ability to perform the action of another verb. I cannot play the ukulele yet, but I am having lessons. Or, Yasmin can expertly dribble around defenders. So here are some modal verbs that you may choose to use to fill in the gap of the last sentence. Here I've chosen the modal verb might. Here's the sentence. He is afraid some unknown creature might grab his legs as he scrambles back into the dinghy. This has changed the degree of possibility. This time I've used the modal verb would. He is afraid some unknown creature would grab his legs as he scrambles back into the dinghy. This is past tense, so what effect does it have on the rest of the sentence? Does anything need to be edited? To make sure this is in the past tense, we would need to edit some things. So we'd need to change is to was and scrambles to scrambled. Modal verbs and adverbs are special verbs that can indicate the likelihood of something happening or whether someone does or does not have permission to do something. This can be a useful device in persuasive language. In this piece of persuasive writing, I have used some modal verbs. See if you can spot them. People should avoid fishing in areas where there are endangered sea plants. It would be a terrible pity if the giant kelp died out forever. Should the sea kelp completely disappear, many creatures will lose their natural habitat. That's right, I used the modal verbs should, would, and should again. Time for a quick task. Can you rewrite this short piece of persuasive writing, but change the modal verbs? This piece must still try to persuade people to save the giant sea kelp. Here's my piece of persuasive writing again that I'd like you to rewrite and use different modal verbs for. Pause the video now and use this to support you. Time for today's main task. Using the information from your non-chronological report you created yesterday, write persuasive sentences using modal verbs. Here's your success criteria. Use modal verbs to persuade. Use information from your non-chronological report. And use conjunctions to add evidence. Here are some other persuasive writing tools that you may decide to use in your writing. Pause the video now and use this to support your writing. Well done everyone, that's the end of another home learning lesson. We'll see you tomorrow for the next lesson.